Good afternoon, everyone. Daniel Miller here. How's everybody doing? Are you having a good day? Is the weather out there as good as ours over here? A very nice, very sunny, very pleasant spring afternoon over here in London today. It's been very cold at night, but it's warmed up during the last couple of days, and we had a bit of a murky drizzle, but today was everything as expected. A beautiful spring sunshine, warm weather outside, ideal for strolls, for shopping, for leisurely exploration of your local park. But you know what? I've had none of that at all. My day today was spent on Destiny, and this was from 10 o'clock in the morning. We've had some absolutely wonderful firefights in Destiny 1 universe. We acquired the Sleeper Simulant weapon, and today I did everything possible to test it, to equip it, to enable all the perks, to make sure it will be, or it is now, one of my most powerful weapons in that game. It did take me a long while to get there. I completed all of my 3 characters and indeed worked very hard to increase the level of light, i.e. the power. So the last section was simply us doing what was necessary for the Sleeper Stimulant. And Simulant, I should remember, I keep calling it Stimulant, but it's actually a Simulant. And we came to the area where I was just then collecting some materials and glimmer through Cosmodrome, and then unlocked all the perks and enabled them in full. So the weapon is very much ready to be used against the enemies, and we are going to be continuing with Destiny 1 as usual. So today is our first. Destiny 1 is almost complete. We only have the raids left. I've done all the other weekly missions many times, as well as the strikes and everything else. So, a few bits and pieces to be polished off, and as you know, we can do this at any time. But the main sections of the game have been completed, whilst Destiny 2 Forsaken and its expansion DLC content, as well as its annual pass seasons, have been left unexplored. I played Warlock here, and I completed the base game. As you could see, I've reached almost the maximum level of points, which is 260. And we are going to be carrying on with our Warlock, and then we'll build Titan and Hunter, try everything else. And I tested the game and did all the required updates yesterday, made sure everything was in order, and wanted to make sure that indeed when we decided to stream, which was today, everything would be working perfectly well. Sometimes there are major updates on Destiny 2, and therefore the streams have to be delayed. I remember once needing to wait about 3 hours, and the entire schedule and everything else planned was then massively altered. But coming back to Destiny 2, well, Destiny 2 is a wonderful, massive open world multiplayer game where so far we've had actually a very divisive community around us, because lots of people who love Destiny 1 didn't really appreciate Destiny 2 as much. Many reasons for that. First of all, the in-game mechanics were altered right from the start, and that is a kind of approach that causes a lot of aggravation amongst the dedicated veterans of one game. It doesn't have to be Destiny, it could be any other. You will recall the same issues arising with some other games as well. And that was the first issue. Secondly, a lot of veterans thought that the base game was quite easy, didn't have enough content, and indeed was basically done in a hurry. Bungie listened to the community, then delivered the DLC content, which was raising the bar. There were many more things to do, and in addition to that, they introduced the annual pass. So far, the annual pass had consisted of 2 seasons. One has been completed, the other is still up and running: Season of the Forge and Season of the Drifter. I've not gone to the seasons, but all of our Destiny 1 veterans have been there, talked a lot about it on my broadcasts, and everyone was, well, generally very happy with the content and everything else that was enhancing Destiny 2. None of them thought that Destiny 2, even with the seasons, was as good as Destiny 1. But the long grinds on the loot and story missions that would have come in had improved the experience, And I think the vast majority of people have not redone the game on second or third character, or indeed on all characters, in order to experience it in full after everything's been updated. And I guess that requires a lot of time and effort. But this is what we are going to do here. We are going to do exactly the same thing that we completed with Destiny 1, which means we build one character to the full, and then we'll come and start another character from the very beginning. And indeed, we are going to then proceed with seasons and also the DLC content even before that. So a lot more to do here. I'm very excited because I love the visual world of Destiny 2. I think the graphics and the visuals have been definitely upgraded. They're very much sort of up-to-date style graphics. I like the way the characters move. There's lots smoother movements than in Destiny 1. But on the other hand, in terms of the actual gameplay, I also felt that there was a discrepancy, and certainly during the base game, although I like the visuals, you know, when you get used to the way you use your inventory, the way you use your director, the way you use your materials and consumables, then that sort of radical major change is just shifting focus. And still yesterday, when I came back to Destiny 2, although I played many hours of it, it felt like coming to a different game, not in the actual gameplay, but whilst I was accessing the inventory. It did take me a bit of time to put two and two together to find out what was going on. And you know, and for instance, what I do like is that some of the items, such as shaders and mods and various other bits, are being kept separately, which means if you're dismantling a weapon, you're not dismantling everything that this weapon would have been given. And that is particularly good. Well, that's certainly my experience of what I've seen so far. Correct me if I am indeed mistaken, but if that is the experience, then I would consider that to be enhanced and a lot better than in the first one. But at the end of the day, it's all about the gameplay. It's about squadding up. It's about team effort. It's about people getting together and then, defeating the enemy and having many missions out there. I guess hard to tell. I've not talked to many Halo veterans. Lots of people had difficulties with Halo expansions, and the trilogy seemed to work perfectly well for everyone there. I remember people being very unhappy about Halo Reach and also about everything else that happened after that. The trouble is, if you're changing direction, you're also altering the course of your community, and sometimes that is not always the best. I certainly hope that the idea of Destiny 2, which is in essence a creation of an evolving world, is certainly here to stay, and I really look forward to seeing all the DLC content and everything else that will come together with those season passes. It is a new direction that the industry is taking. They talked about it for quite a while, but there's been certain limitations on the technical front. And as you could see with Fallout 76, with Anthem in particular, these massive open world multiplayer games are likely to have this sort of infinite extension, if you want it, as you purchase your annual pass, and then you'll be able to enter the world, which is growing. And I remember doing big open world games quite a while back, before the tech was as advanced as it is today, and you didn't have that seasonal change of weather, you didn't have day-night cycle, and all these kinds of things are well represented in most games today. But coming back to Destiny, and I guess Anthem as well, introducing the world which is evolving, growing and developing is a novel experience, and it will require a different kind of team effort on behalf of the developer in order to provide consistently interesting content. As you know, we are all talking about the shelf life, and some games, even today, if you look at some of the older ones like Resident Evil for instance, they're always replayable, you always enjoy what you see. But Destiny and Anthem, I think, are your industry breakers. They really are raising the bar and raising the standards for everyone else, and I really wish them the very best of success. I personally do want to see the open world evolving like that, and we've seen a new game coming out of Obsidian which is going to be also tailored to that, strategy, that system, a lot of human resources, and indeed a lot of capital, as the new content has to be provided within a relatively short period of time. And as you know, still, even today, the massive blockbuster games will take 4 to 5 years, in production. And, it's very important to consider that the massive big teams working on them. I was very, very sad to see that the Anthem suffered such fate with all the technical problems plaguing the launch, particularly on consoles. And I'm hoping that all of those are going to be resolved, and then we can just nicely walk through the gameplay, discuss everything we love about it, rather than focus on infinite loading screens and all other troubles which have been persisting. Destiny 2 does not have any of that, but initially there were some serious glitches, all of which were resolved. In fact, I remember playing Destiny 2 at the beginning, Second Light game, and let me just think. Yeah, it would have been not right at the beginning, but maybe 12 months later after the game was released. And right at the beginning, where there's this massive attack on the tower, you are to be escaping. You come to the section of, the base, and you are to be encountering other characters and enemies, and there was nothing there. And there was no indication on any form of glitch. And fortunately, as you know, I have a very, very dedicated Destiny veteran gaming community here on my channel, and people told me immediately, this is a glitch, just reload the game, don't carry on. But just think about it. If I didn't have my community, if I was doing that by myself, I could have stayed there for hours, for days, thinking that I'm doing something wrong, Anyway, it was just a glitch that indeed had been resolved ever since, no longer appearing, and we really want to see that immersive, massive, big, great, mysterious, explorative, and yet very, very scary and deadly world that they have to be growing. We want to see characters coming and going. We want to see sub-quests and adventures coming in. We want to see new people appearing. So a bit like when you watch a long-term television series, although they do not produce that many of them anymore. Think of X-Files, think of 24, think of Homicide: Life on the Street, just to name a few, The Wire. In the same way as you're progressing from week to week with those episodes, you can be progressing within the game, and you can be experiencing all of those new things which are brought in. You have the old in-game mechanics. I love the idea. I really do, because I've been on multiplayers, since they were initiated. I remember playing Diablo in the 90s and having, other people from my community connected to me, and we had absolutely wonderful time. And besides all the troubles which the tech was causing us, we were able to, remain vibrant, interested, and connected. And I think the opportunities with the new technology are giving us a lot more. So let me just tell you one more thing. The other day, I went to our brand new game station, which is in central London. It's attached to PC Curry Store. For all of you who are British and maybe Londoners familiar with our city, the biggest, well, it's not the biggest, but I guess the most central PC Curry's store is at Tottenham Court Road, which is the very central area of London. And previously, the store had a very large home cinema section, and I used to go there from time to time in order to check out on the new equipment, most notably projectors and large television screens. And due to the generational change and the change of focus and interest, a lot of people have been asking, where are you going to have something gaming related? So they converted that section into that games hub, which is truly extraordinary. It has all of the state-of-the-art equipment on display. You're talking about laptops, consoles, desktops, all the monitors, even with 2 professional streaming setups with 3 massive monitors attached to a very, very large desk. Everyone who ever walks into the store can simply go in there and try all of that equipment, experience it for himself. And I have to say, that's probably the best I've seen in London. Anyone who's a serious gamer in the UK, guys, call the store, make an appointment. The reason I'm telling you this is some people come in and then sit for hours, basically by those computers, And the trouble is that they are occupying space. If you're coming from afar, you really want to be also trying that equipment, and you can reserve one of those desks, you can reserve one of the sections of the game hub, and then try one of the games just to see for yourself. Everything is up to scratch, the latest state-of-the-art equipment is there. In fact, I was trying some of those gaming pads which are used on desktops if one is doing the regular broadcasting, and I've seen them as being used, as used by some of my colleagues. Presently, I'm not doing any broadcasts on my PC, so I'm not really concerned, but in the future, maybe I'll need some of those. And the reason I'm telling you all this, maybe it sounds a bit long-winded, is that I also watched the promo material for the latest games, and these are Anthem and The Division 2 on those massive big television screens of 70-inch, and they included 4K TVs as QLED and ULED and OLED, all of those. Some of those were Samsung, the other ones were Sony, the third lot were LG, some were Panasonic. And honestly, when you see the quality graphics on those massive big screens of 70-inch, and when you compare them with what we used to have, it is just absolutely mind-blowing. And I can only recommend everyone, if you are a serious gamer, if you have some space in your house, then definitely make sure you get some of those large screen TVs and use them as monitors for your PC, or indeed for your consoles. In fact, they will work much better with your consoles because it's a television equipment. But the quality experience that you will have of Destiny, of Anthem, of The Division, of the Outer Worlds, which is to come out in a few months, then Days Gone, all the other open world games, Fallout, New Vegas, I don't know, we can go back in time, think of Neverwinter, but I'm just focusing on the latest games because the audiovisual components are really staggering. They become so fully immersive. The quality of image and sound is second to none, and I really spent quite some time there with one of their specialists, and then examining ins and outs of all of that equipment. And I have to say, I just absolutely loved Anthem on that 70-inch screen. And I watched it on Panasonic, on LG, on Samsung, on Sony, on JVC, I think it was. And there were some other less well-known brands as well, but we were looking at obviously the best brands. I personally always go for Sony. All of my equipment is Sony. That includes my console, TV, telephone, tablet, you name it. And must admit, I was quite coerced by LG and Samsung. The beauty of the colors and the toning, bright colorful images, the ease of use, and also the size and everything else, the quality of the screen, altogether were really most appealing. So really what I would recommend to everyone is, if you are a serious Destiny gamer, if you do have some savings, invest in one of those large screen TVs. Your experience of those favorite games and of that open world will be just massively enhanced. I actually do stream on very large screen TV, and in addition to that, I also have a video projector, which means if there is a need, I can have it magnified to a very, very large screen size. In fact, my projector is a professional Sony LCD projector, which was used in cinemas, and the picture quality is amazing. Although it's not really 4K or the latest generation projector, but still I get a very, very good experience. So you could imagine when you blow it up to a massive big size, as big as your wall, for instance, depending on what property you live in, the immersive component of open world just completely overtakes. And I think at the end of the day, that is what counts, because we want our fantasy world to be fully represented also through the technology and the equipment we are using, and we want to be able to kind of simply jump in and immerse, because for the vast majority of people who are not working in the industry professionally, video gaming is a way of relaxing, of detaching from everyday troubles, many of which are present every day, from paying the bills to the way things are currently, economically or in any other way. And therefore the experience becomes much enhanced, very relaxing and thoroughly enjoyable. Also, with very large screens and projectors, what you will get is an environment where lots of friends and colleagues can be brought in. I've talked many times on the broadcast about my home cinema and the fact that as a kind of dedicated veteran of the film industry and a person who kind of watched films since I was 4, I had a fantastic experience with my, 3 projectors so far. But I remember when I got my first projector, this was in the 90s, and I created, you had very, very few people in possession of such equipment, and also facilities at home. You need to have really very large Victorian property where the picture could be very good. You need to have an extra screen, and all kinds of bits which are necessary. But most importantly, the projectors were brand new. They were a kind of a novelty that people would have spotted at PR events and conferences and cinemas, etc. And I remember bringing in a group of colleagues, and it was quite a large group, and we screened. Well, we were screaming. We were basically doing everything on PlayStation 1, which was connected to the home cinema system, i.e. my projector and amplifier and everything else. And the games we played, I remember, were Resident Evil, Silent Hill. These were the ones, in fact, initially. And those games were extremely scary. So I think for people playing them on their television sets at that time, it was scary enough. And then once you had 12 speakers and that massive big screen with, all these atmospheric images of the dad looking for his daughter and going through all that fog and the beasts coming out of the fog, you can just hear the noises. One of my colleagues was so scared she had to leave, and this was not my intention, but we really experienced that degree of immersion of the highest quality then, and this was quite a few years back. It goes back, I think, roughly 20 years. So coming back to what we can experience today, if you have one of those big TVs or projectors, you are going to be fully a part of that open world. You will really feel completely immersed. You are an active participant, and if you get your squad on board, and if you have facilities, you can even live stream the way you are doing it. You can just put your video camera, and then everyone can see your massive big screen. And it just literally raises the bar for everyone. It brings it to a different level. So that would be my personal recommendation after visiting PC World and experiencing the Games Hub, gaming station. I am, in no way biased towards the company, or I'm not trying to sell any products or anything like this. It's absolutely not in my interest. But I'm just focused on the very best of video gaming. And we know that today, even on consoles, even on Android phones or tablets, we can get really very, very high quality picture. But I just think the size is something that does matter. I think when you're traveling through Destiny environment, when you're entering the open world of Fallout, when you're exploring those darkest corners of Anthem, you will find that to be significantly different when you're having it on a major, very large screen display. You are an active participant, you're entering that world, you're enjoying everything you see, and it just completely overtakes. It's almost like a new reality. I remember watching Strange Days of Catherine Bigelow's many years ago, and for all of you who are familiar with this sort of sci-fi thriller, he finds plays this guy who is smuggling a device that makes that sort of environment operate within your head. You sort of put it in your head like a helmet, and then it comes into your consciousness. Well, it is that sort of experience, I have to say. You do not have it inside of your head, thanks God for that, but it's out there, and it's massive, and it's immersive, which means you can completely detach from your everyday worries and love your video games as much as always, and immerse in full. So that is definitely the best part of that video gaming experience for me, and I absolutely loved it. In due course, I'll post some of the images on my Instagram, and you'll see I will make a nice selection of those representing that location. And if you have a chance, if you're not in London, of course, if you live in other countries, then try to visit one of your own gaming hubs in your local area, because I'm quite certain once you've gone there, once you've tried some of your favorite games, it will make a very, very big difference. You know, it's just the sound quality, the size of the picture. That open world becomes so alive, and I have this every day. But I think for those people who are doing broadcasts on very small computer monitors or miniature sets, I would just advise you to just magnify, and your experience will be a lot more enjoyable and immersive. So these were some news about our gaming station in London. I have my new gaming station blog. It's called Gaming Dialogue on the internet. It's based on facilities provided by WordPress, and we started with this on Tuesday. It's just a brief introduction on the blog, but as we are carrying on with our daily activities here, all of those, particularly the interesting achievements and bits of news related to certain games, are going to be represented there, and it will open a fertile ground for everyone to explore in order to make new friends, to bond with other people in the world, to squad up, to play games together, and also to make sure that you are attentive, kind, polite, helpful, focused, friendly, everything we want people to be. And by doing that, joining our community, helping others, and also focusing on some very important issues outside of the video gaming community, you will make this world a much better place for everyone. Remember that always. Remember that. I have zero tolerance, together with moderators on this channel, for people who are trying to push a like an aggressive competitive element to video gaming. That is a different section of it. It's similar to what you do if you are entertaining sports. You go out and play for your leisure. You do a bit of tennis, a bit of football, a bit of basketball, depending what country you come from, and you'll do your favorite sport at your own leisure for your own enjoyment. You're not going to be doing it to the degree where you expect every one of your teammates to be like your Messis or Ronaldos if you're playing football. It's the same sort of thing, and I think it's very important to realize that online gaming is all about connectivity and communication. The fact we've got this broadcasting together, and the fact that the technology has evolved to this degree, is providing us with a massive opportunity, for us to connect with like-minded souls worldwide, and then with those new bridges created, we can move forward. We can talk about anything. Whilst broadcasting, I talk exclusively and entirely, or intensely, about video gaming. But lots of my community members do hook up with me elsewhere. We talk about other issues. I made lots and lots of friends since I started broadcasting here on Twitch with this channel, and it's been an absolutely wonderful, tremendous experience. It's very hard to tell as to why so many great people are gravitating to the channel, but I'm absolutely, truly, and grateful, and very, very happy to see that all of that has been evolving. And there are lots of different ways in which people can connect, and sharing your interests and being dedicated to what you love doing the best is certainly one of the very best ones. And earlier in my broadcast today, I talked about cinephilia and film buffing, people who love films, and how, for instance, in my youth, this was always based locally. You would have a group of friends or enthusiasts or even professionals who were going to your local film museum, and all the knowledge on film was based and built around that museum. You would watch, at your local cinematheque, some of the classics. You would meet beforehand, you would discuss them in advance, then after watching a film you would discuss them again, you would compare the views, and at the end of the night, around 10 o'clock, you would go to a local restaurant and continue discussing things film related until very, very late night hours. So this was the way it was, but today we can do that on the global scale. We can connect through our broadcasts and discuss the same topics with people who are from around the world, sharing exactly the same interest, and I find that absolutely astonishing as a person who's been using the internet right from the beginning, and I've seen things really develop, evolve and grow to the degree that nobody, well, I wouldn't say nobody could have expected. People did expect many different things happening and developing, but the opportunity is here. You've got the means or the medium through which your voices can be heard. You can make new friends, you can connect with others, you can speak your mind out, you can do whatever you like, and you can use all the other social networking forums in order to promote your views and your opinions. Indeed, you don't have to be doing just video gaming. You can talk about anything. And at the moment, Twitch and YouTube are mainly focused on gaming, very simply because gaming obviously attracts a lot of interest at the moment. But they, in my opinion, in my view, they will be branching out as well. We'll have many other channels with different topics and different types of broadcasts. And obviously, they already exist, but they don't have the marketing budget or the algorithms connecting people in the same way as obviously those which are gaming related. So many more great things to come, many more developments to be seen, and I thoroughly look forward to it. But what I also look forward to is my Destiny 2 world. I'll carry on as Warlock, human male, played as DRBMiller, or DRBMiller, as you know me, and we'll see what other adventures we need to polish off here. Last night I've seen there were quite a few left on separate planets. There were some quests, and we are going to be focusing on those immediately. As you could see, this is quite similar to Destiny 1. We get in the orbit and then we sort of fly, then get to open director. The director is nice to design. You have map, you have destinations, you have roster, very easy to use. Roster is giving you access to all the other online community members and friends. You can bring them in at any time. You can make it accessible for open play, or you can make it restricted. Invitation only is what I have, and always there is somebody out there doing it. In fact, many people are playing Destiny 2. As you could see, almost 10 pages of my friends are presently doing it. And very easy to connect. The only thing is that the in-game dynamics on Destiny 2 are somewhat different to Destiny 1. There are similarities. I guess that there is some degree of enhancement, but I find them a bit disconcerting, particularly when we come to the options, because in here, instead of that very simple inventory, character and all the other things, we have collections and triumphs, and that is somewhat diluting our focus. I find it really a bit difficult when I go to triumphs to see what's what, and also when I come to collections. But on the other hand, they are very nicely laid out, and we can see, looks like we acquired something else in there as well. Don't know what's going on, because I did look at that yesterday. Scout rifles. It looks like we acquired some of those there. Yeah. Nameless Midnight. These are the ones. And then some grenade launchers as well. Well, to be fair, this is similar to those kiosks which were previously based at the tower. But still, I think it's the sheer quantity in one place which is a bit confusing for me. And I have to say, considering I played the game quite a bit, I had to go through it all yesterday, familiarize myself with it, and But so what? I'm just providing us with a voice of discontent. They were not happy with this, and generally, when things become from very simple and straightforward, somewhat expansive and difficult, or even more complicated, well, we have to expect a certain degree of response, which perhaps will not be as favorable. So I did enable some of those sigils, and I have those in place already. So that's all clean. It's all sorted, and basically what we are going to do today in order to crack on with our Destiny 2 gameplay is simply to look at those adventures which are still outstanding. And if I'm not mistaken, on Nessus we had quite a few. Indeed, I'm not mistaken, I can see them all there. What I'm interested in is whether there are also some quests. I did see one quest yesterday, and I think it was on Venus. No, in fact there is one in here as well, Exodus Black. Yeah, fail safe. So we have one in here, one quest left on Nessus, and then we have on Titan. No quests left. That's for the base game. And then we have no quests left here on Io either. So to be fair, the best way of going forward is by going to Nessus and then doing the quest which is still outstanding, and this quest is Exodus Black. Okay, so this is Exodus Black. Let's see, Nessus, it's been tracked. And therefore we can go to Watcher's Grave first in Acadian Valley. I equipped some very nice skins on all of my weapons and kit. My ship looks awesome. And the pattern is basically the insignia, the coat of arms of one of the fallen knights. And as you can see, it looks very pretty. Really like this skin very much. I think the ship looks awesome. And I also equip my character with a particular outfit which is corresponding. Lots of people say, well, cosmetics don't matter too much when it comes to gameplay, but actually they draw a lot of attention, and sometimes they can also create new bonds and friendships. You know, when you're in a social hub, people can see the outfit you're wearing and the weapons you've got, and they may be also drawing potential interest from others. Alright, there we are. Thinking about that, speak to failsafe at the Exodus Black. So we need to go to Exodus Black. The way we do it is we just simply follow our pointer. In fact, I was here yesterday as well. I wasn't broadcasting, I just tried out a few things, and the experience was very enjoyable. The first thing you notice once you are using Sparrow is that you jump on it straight away.
Attention all crew members. Incoming fallen craft with elevated ether signatures.
Let's see what that event is. Here. Going back and see whether the event is indeed somewhere around there. Possible? No? Well, maybe not. Maybe I need to go back then. Maybe it needs to be activated. Start in 5 minutes. Okay. much. He's immune. Well, this is obviously a challenge. Everything looks and feels a bit different to Destiny 1. I'm still having my Destiny 1 hat on. Never mind, we'll get there. There. Recommended power 610 and I have 260, so that doesn't look likely I'll be able to do anything about him. Did I cause him any damage at all? I don't think I did. Got killed instantly. Alright. But you know what? I don't really have to engage him at all at the moment. I'm definitely way underpowered. 60. And he has everything else. So where do I need to go? Seconds. We'll wait here, see what happens.
Vex, they're building something.
Calculating probabilities. Yes, they are.
Refresh.
ammunition. I'm not going to be able to. Yeah. I need to get away from that. Where they're running. It's having a bit of recoil there. Not ideal.
Well, we slowed them down.
What do computational processing speeds matter for Vex? Answer suppressed.
So I'm not sure whether this was successfully completed or not. What did I get at the... oh, there it is, loot. Nothing significant really. Let's have a look. Inventory. Did we get anything? No, not really. Lots of different things which we are going to be doing in there. Applications, shaders, character, triumphs, collections. No, nothing new. Okay. So we are to speak to failsafe. He killed me immediately. Dreadfully difficult to kill. And what is here? It's the adventure. Hack the planet. We'll come back here later on. But what we do need to do is we need to get that quest. This here. Hold on. So where's the quest? Exodus Siege.
Check-in. Ongoing process. Time for life of active Exodus Black systems. Result noted. Process.
Welcome aboard, Captain. It is wonderful to see you again. Did you know I eavesdropped on your triumphant fight with Gaul?
I was worried he was gonna, like, atomize you.
But he did not. He did not atomize you at all. You atomized him. Captain, hello. Today I am thinking about death. As you know, I was unable to save my crew when we crashed on Nessus.
Kind of hard to help when you don't have a body.
Many of the crew and colonists died immediately, but I have wondered if some survived. Sometimes I think I hear my former captain's voice on the comms. That is highly improbable, because he should be dead.
So, wanna look into that for me?
Faction reward, complete patrols and public events, and that's what's been. Okay. Claim to board engrams. Unlock.
I hope it works well for you.
Collect everything. So I must have been a bit late. Yeah, I didn't participate, so therefore I didn't get anything. Apparently. Let's see. Destinations, map. So the quest is Exodus Black, Cajun Valley. Investigate Phil's suspicion that the captain is still alive. Hollows, no. Investigate Black. Glitchy. We chose in one adventure. The quest could be done alongside. So you could see the world of Destiny 2 is both similar and different. Some things could be approached with ease and others cannot.
Hey team, I know how we can hook Failsafe up to the Nessus core and mine all the data we could ever want. Just help me place these beacons and I'll explain.
We need to plant beacons. What happening there? That's pretty weird. They knew. Sniper. Very, very powerful enemies. Recommended power 320. I think. Back to snipers. See what we can do there. Trace rifle, risk runner, auto rifle. Force. Okay. What was the fusion rifle I had there? 259. Sniper rifle as well. Okay, we'll see. goodness. Definitely not going to work. Right. So there's going to be no joy in here with everything or anything I've got by the looks of it. Special ammunition either. What perks do I have on this weapon? Why does it not work? Armor piercing. Okay. Under pressure. Weapon mods. Precision kills greatly decrease reload time. Shots from this weapon knock the target back farther. 80B long range, long distance hacky squad. Long zoom greatly increases range, decreases handling speed. Where's the frame? What's this? Light sniper scope, short zoom. Might be a different sort of telescopic sight. No, not really. We do not have any other weapons in there. I think that's into back. Be better off choosing something else to do. This is a bit. So let me see. I'm just trying to find out what to do in order to neutralize this, because I don't have weaponry or the power levels good enough for this hack the planet. I don't know what I need to do in order to neutralize it. Let's see. I worked it out eventually. It's a bit different to Destiny 1. But eventually I remembered it. We'll do the quest. No, we're not going to do that. So the quest is what?
Oh, Captain. I'm detecting unknown hostiles carrying unknown technology. Location, unknown.
We've got a new mission, falling out of the sky, items collected. So we need to be collecting some items in here by the looks of it. Conversion matrix 1. Okay. I have to admit I feel very weak because everyone else I've seen so far has level 50, 20. Collected 3 out of 9. Oh, there's some other ones in there. Must be my friend in there who would destroy these. Or maybe I just didn't spot them. has been completed. What's that? Oh, a bike. Okay. So that would be where? Here, 480 level. That would be bizarre. I'm meeting him and...
Guardian, there's a cloaked fallen in your vicinity. Neutralize it. We need to confirm a theory.
See the close cut. Exodus Siege.
Found something on the body. These are coordinates to the Exodus Black.
Indeed. We have reports that the Fallen plan to destroy Failsafe's mainframe and scrap her for parts.
Not on our watch. We're on our way, Failsafe.
Thank you very much. Continued existence is one of my prime directives. It was the Cade unit who led the Fallen to me.
He totally blew my cover. All of this is his fault.
There.
The Fallen are feeding on that servitor.
That is very bad news. Please stop them.
Eat that, Fallen. Yeah! Servitors make sentient machines look bad.
I'm sorry, that's impossible. I always look good.
Zavala, I'm picking up a Fallen signal from a nearby cave. I think that's where they're getting their orders. How about we take out the leadership?
That's how you folded the Red Legion. Do what you have to.
Follow the fallen signal. Where? It's a bit tricky because you don't see where the signal is. Thought there was something to collect in here, but I was mistaken. Something about that. Doesn't look likely. No. that? Alright. The other way in. Portal in there, we need to enter there. The graphics are really so good in Destiny 2, I really love the visuals. A lot smoother and a lot more immersive. You see a different engine is already in place here. The actual gameplay is different. It's just really weird, you know, I walked.
Wow.
Wow is not a helpful term on the battlefield, Ghost.
So the fallen signal is coming from behind a massive barrier powered by Vex tech. Looks like they've stolen themselves a toy.
Really good sniper. Loving it. Sometimes not a good idea to be waiting for that headshot. Just don't get you. We got a relic and the usual. Still a bit more we'll have of our Destiny 2 world, and then we'll call it today. It's been a lengthy day today, and I have to say somewhat different to the usual, because I'm having Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. These are, well, this is the same world, but it does feel a bit different. I'm revisiting my Destiny 2 world after a 3-month break. Once I bring my broadcast to its end for today, that is, and then I'll have to work on my blog. Lots of interesting things to say today. Some interesting news from the industry as well regarding some future releases. break the song before I start working on the computer. As you can see, the life of a broadcaster becomes very, very busy. As you're growing your channel and doing different things in order to grow your community, create connections, it becomes a way of life, really. Take down the shield, I see. Still have to be a relic to be collected somewhere. The relic. Override the generators. Super. Walker. Tether. Vortex if we can. just completely forgot about my super in here. Because it does work differently compared to what I have on my Destiny 1. That sniper is very powerful.
Now let's see who's been sending these Fallen to kill Failsafe and kill them back.
Okay. Task is to kill the commander. One grenade would have done him. I wasn't careful enough that. Plenty of those, that's right. Able to do it. That's pretty good. much enhanced compared to the first game. When you're running, you're jumping, then you can also glide a bit. It's really good. And also if you are jumping like on the edge, what you get is you can just pull up, climb, really helps.
We've got this taken care of. That fallen crew won't be bothering you anymore, Failsafe.
Good work, all of you.
You have my thanks, friendly ghost. Captain, you are clearly optimized to solve problems created by the Cade unit. That must be one of your designated day-to-day functions.
He knows that I'm targeting him. Look, as soon as you fill up your weapon, he is disappearing. Valley. So where are we to go? What's happening? Something wrong with my Sense of direction, I think. Rally to the flag. But I really want to find out what needs to be done with that main quest, because I'm not at home with it. Not sure what was to be done.
Prepared a ship's log for you, Captain. I know you did not request one, but I did not think that after all this time alone, I would ever have a chance to prepare another log. Log 163692. We are making positive progress in our daily endeavors. Active crew count 3. Inactive crew count 15. Inactive colonist count 585. Quote of the day, hang in there, baby. End log.
I'm just exploring the inventory a bit to see the difference between Destiny 2 and Destiny 1. Bring this Asheneer in the Rupture to discover the value. Take us to Devon K in Trostland to discover its value. So several, we can go to any minute. Bring us the gunsmith to increase your reputation with them. Gunsmith materials as well. We need to go to the gunsmith and increase the reputation with these, I guess. Fine, so that's all good. But what I'm not familiar with is when I look at my complete all captain and messes. Nestia feels a suspicion that her captain is still alive.
Accessing node 9875A.
Fallen are feeding on that servitor.
That is very bad news. Please stop them.
silly. Machines can't feel anger.
Eat that, Fallen. Yeah! Servitors make sentient machines look bad.
I'm sorry, that's impossible. I always look good.
No chest armor. Okay. Let's have a look what this chest armor is like. Mechanical. Profit snow. Legendary shards, enhancement core, microbasic, data lattice, microbasic data lattice. Yeah, I guess this is where the long grind comes into the picture. Let's see, we have time, profit snipe, that's the one, yeah, I like it. Atonement Tau. Yeah, I was just going to say that is probably how long grinds are going to be in the season. Work your way up to get all the ingredients to get something. We'll have to see whether it's fun or not. Yes, so far so good. Can't complain. Quite liked it. But I need to find out where. So if I go out of here. No. Just crashed into me. It's not very good, is it? Thank you. No wonder I couldn't get it anywhere, because I haven't even started it. Wow, really? Come on. Stretch. Exodus Black or Captain. Investigate failsafe suspicion that our captain is still alive. Recommended power is 200. So that's all good. And these are the rewards. Some rare kit. Okay, so that's the last thing. That's the last thing that we're going to do tonight on Destiny 2. Today is our resumption of Destiny 2 broadcast, so you know we'll expand on it. I think we have thoroughly enjoyed it, and our Exodus Black is going to be our last mission in Destiny 2 for today. Okay.
AI core protocol integrity and
Poor
status
failsafe.
report.
It's been so long since the Black crashed here. I'll be surprised if we find much.
So this is a quest, which means we need to look for this crew. Okay.
Wait, this is weird. I'm picking something up nearby. There's a voice recording left behind in this suit's computer.
Mayday! Mayday! I repeat, the Exodus Black has been compromised by an unknown alien life form. We're 600 souls aboard. Systems are failing. We are going down. Mayday!
So these ones must be just spread out around here. Yeah.
This servitor shorted out when it tried to interface with the Exodus Black's network, and then limped out here to shut down. It looks like failsafe wasn't gentle.
So that's not really... This isn't a log, just something else we found. Okay.
Somewhere around here.
Love this sniper. A bit like my devil on the hunter. I'll just stick some stuff in my storage. 55. All right.
Day 9. We're out of just about everything. Water, oxygen, ideas.
disable the shackle programming and the ship's fail-safe AI. We need every bit of help we can get.
So this was the second log. We got 2 logs in there collected. There must be another one as well. So let's see. It tells us to go up there. Alright, it's not of interest. Oh, this is so good, look at that. Oh, it's reflecting in that sight. Extraordinary. So these guys must be all hidden up here. Kinetic weapons full. What? These events are very frequent.
That servitor.
That is very bad news. Please stop them.
That fallen. Yeah. Servitors make sentient machines look
Why
bad.
did I go out
I'm
there?
sorry, that's impossible. I always look good.
Wall of Bond. See, Wall of Bond. 255 to 60.
This way.
Seemed like a really poor quality Wall of Bond, right? To me, at least. To get some mighty hand cannons as well. I don't think I have any of those there. Just scout rifle, pulse rifle, sniper rifle, auto rifle. Yeah. Collected 2 logs, need 2 more. Not bad. Hard enough to get there. Someone was faster than me. To go up there. That's it, thank you. Where's he gone now? Where is he now? Cool. Yeah, they can tell. So I need to go here.
The lieutenant today. Now it's just the pilot, the captain, and me. Cap thinks the black satellite array might still be intact. I think he's crazy.
Still a bit more to do and then we'll call it a night. Taking out a lot longer than expected. I thought it was going to be really easy and really short.
Why set up a terminal this far from the Exodus Black? Must have been some kind of last-ditch effort by Failsafe's crew. Poor folks.
So we recovered 3 logs. And we need anything. Where's the 4th log? can't go in. So where's the fourth log, my friend? Where is the fourth log? No, the flag is there, but I don't want that flag. It's unlikely that it will be there. Maybe it could be, I don't know. Have a look. Look at the wreckage as well. Nearly broke my leg.
I've got another signal.
will kill you. The satellite array is our only chance. Stay if you want. But I'm going. I'm sorry. I'll come back for you.
That was Captain Jacobson. That was his voice.
Don't get too excited yet. Let's see if we can find that satellite array he mentioned.
Let's see the chest as well. There's one here. Some really good loot by the looks of it. Wait a minute, what is he on? Where did he go? That's pretty good. So we found it. Inspect the satellite array. Okay. Why on earth did I have to fall through here? .480. Why am I meeting him if there needs to be 480 power for this? This is ridiculous. Wasted my ammunition. this now?
There's a microcomputer here. It's trying to send a message.
That transmitter is only 13% operational. I may be able to execute a remote repair. Please stand by.
So you could see this is very similar to Destiny 1 as well, when you're defending that wall sap or anything else. Where did he go? So fast.
The Exodus Black has crash-landed on a planetoid. ID Nessus. We request immediate...
That sounded like a Vex signal at the end.
According to my database, the Vex use that noise as a greeting and or a war cry.
Well, it's possible that the Vex might remember what happened to the captain, or recall where he went centuries ago.
I didn't know the Vex. wanted to join in, but I was a bit late. A couple of seconds late. Well, now, what can you do? This instance, nothing. I need to... oh, there he is. I wanted in and I crashed. Definitely need that one. Where did it go? Oh, I don't believe it. Go away. So powerful. 480. It's too strong. Can't do anything with them. one of those. Put my rockets on. Rendezvous with the captain.
Aggregating our kill data now. This is crazy. Seems like the Vex believe that the captain is coming to meet us. Right now.
Of loot, more glimmer. So where is the captain? Looks like perhaps up there.
Look up! Something's up there. Never mind. It's just a weird-looking harpy.
No, please pursue the weird-looking harpy. Remember, you said the captain is coming to meet you.
Yes, but that's not the captain. I suppose maybe he sent an escort for us, but I've never heard of anyone befriending the Vex.
Captain Jacobson was exceptionally kind to all robotic life forms.
Okay, so we've seen that. New quest activity available, my captain. Okay. Okay, so that is another quest. Well, we've come to the end of our broadcast for today, my dear friends. In fact, let me think. Do I have anything to decode? I can just go very quickly back to the tower.
Alert! I'm detecting abnormal Vex activity in a local quadrant.
So we'll go back to orbit, we'll go back to the tower and wrap it up for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It was our first Destiny 2 broadcast this year. We didn't have any broadcast this year since December of Destiny 2, that is. And let's just see. Back to the landing zone. There we are. Yes, what I wanted to say was that this was our first Destiny 2 broadcast of this year, and we'll carry on with exploring, with the exploration of that Destiny universe, the sequel, everything else that comes together with it. I guess so far I have not been as detailed and as thorough as I was in Destiny 1. And as you know, when we started the channel, we were streaming both Destiny 1 and 2 as an experiment, but obviously we gravitated towards the original because it has many more followers and dedicated hardcore gamer stroke veterans. And we are going to be expanding the universe to the world of Forsaken, and then Gambit, and then the annual pass and everything else that comes together with it. So a lot to look forward to. I thoroughly enjoyed the session today. I really loved it, and some of those things were a bit surprising. I don't remember walking through the wasteland and then stumbling on the enemy that was requiring 500 or 600 light or the power, so I'm not sure why this is happening. I need to talk to my veteran friends to find out what's going on, because previously I did not encounter any of those beasts. Maybe that's something new that Bungie introduced. I'm not familiar, I'm not sure. But what I can tell you is that in the gameplay so far, we've done a few adventures, we've done quite a few events, and tested some of the weapons and experimented a bit. It was very, very good, very enjoyable, very heartwarming, a very good introduction, and I guess a very good return to our Destiny 2 world as well. So after that long grind on Destiny 1. Alright, so let's see what we need to do here, and then we'll call it a night. I'm not really tired, but I feel a bit stiff. I need to exercise, need to have a shower, need to do a lot of my admin work on the blog, need to have my dinner as well, which is going to be waiting for me. So a lot to look forward to, but let's just finish this up first.
I make the deals.
So we have Postmaster first.
Checking.
So we got Bond of Chiron, Warlock Bond.
Received.
Legendary Engram.
Check.
And then we'll have Microphasic Data Lattice. Bring this to failsafe in the Exodus Black on Nexus Discover its value. Okay, we'll have to do that next time. Just going to be tomorrow. And
whenever you need me again, Guardian.
Tess Everest has something for us, I think.
Always good to see you, Guardian.
We do. Tess once again appreciates your completion of an Eververse bounty. She rewards you with a gift to celebrate the new season. So I have this bounty, Notorious Engram, and Verdigris Shader. Okay. Oh, look at that. That's very, very good. What I got there? Bright Dust, Legendary Shards. No, we don't want any course. Fire team medallion. The strongest guardians are those who stand together. Increased XP gains and loot for you and members of your fire team.
Eververse thanks you.
So keep that. It's consumable. Wall brick shader looking good. Quite like it. Ship broadcast eyes. Looks Japanese for some reason. Let me think, let me see, let me explore if there is anyone else who wants to talk to us. Maybe Master Rahul.
What can I do for you, Warlock?
Okay. Is there anyone else? No, there isn't anyone else at the moment. And what we can do is before we finalize on our session for today, we can just quickly have a look at our inventory. So with inventory, 260 defense, Bond of Chiron, we have Wall of Bond.
I must admit, Guardian, I'm very curious to see what you've got for me to crack open.
The Red Legion don't fight like the other Cabal, much more aggressive.
I don't want to be the one who tells the executive.
You gotta be kidding!
Best cryptographers are never known by name, only by quality of their work.
Do these specs make sense?
No, I don't have many enough consumables, I think. Materials. So...
This war is a complicated algorithm, to be certain.
Okay. 260. That's better. Get rid of that one.
Ignorance is a prison cell. Sometimes an engram is the key.
No. Don't know whether we can use it, we'll have to see.
I must admit, Guardian, I'm very curious to see what you've got for me to crack open.
Yeah, this one is better. And then we can maybe infuse, maybe.
You ever think Zavala's been doing this for too long? What is he, 200 years old?
No, we'll keep them. There's no need to be rushing through this, no need for that at all. 255. Hirakama, let's see, what is this? 260, 255, 55.
Nobody cares about the city's poor, except New Monarchy.
Ugh, we need fresh coolant. Old stuff scorched the manifold.
Yes, Guardian, by all means. Let's get started.
The warlocks will make the difference. Mark my words.
It's 260. We've got two of these. No, this one there.
That can't be true.
Legendary shards we've got, so that's that.
The mystery is the thing. You never know what you're going to find.
That's impossible.
Kept that hand cannon just for me to try. Not interested in weak weapons, we just want legendary and exotic overall. Preview.
Keep it down. Remain vigilant, Guardian. We may never quite be as safe as we think.
Not so loud. Oracles everywhere. Reload the dropships. The Guardians need their heavy artillery.
I have to say, I really find this very enjoyable, exploring the shaders and getting,
never known by name.
you know, different types of colors and designs. Really good, very enjoyable. I think I like either this one or that one the best. And this one I like the best. Try the other one.
These new launchers are designed to penetrate Cabal halls.
This one's not bad either. So which one shall we go for? This one or that one? We'll go for a more colourful one, right?
The best cryptographers are never known by name, only by quality of their work.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't want to be the one.
Seriously? There's something up there.
Apply.
Some kind of experiment got loose. I don't know.
Okay. Perks enabled, improved arc analyzer. Generate gunsmith telemetry data on arc weapon kills. Okay, sounds good.
Speak to me not of the darkness. I want no part.
And here we don't have any of that.
Ignorance is a prison cell.
259. I thought that was 260. 260.
Just gonna take a minute here.
265. 258. Yeah, that's right. 260. 260.
No.
258, 259, 260. Yeah. And then we did get that new ship, I think, as well, right?
This war is a complicated algorithm, to be certain. Sadly, the Red Legion's defeat will not bring back our lost archives. Some things are finite.
That's not bad.
If we end, the data ends with us. That fate is too terrible to comprehend.
Reload the dropships. The Guardians need their heavy artillery.
What's the other one? Jewel of
I must
Saffron.
admit, Guardian, I'm very curious to see what you've got for me to crack open.
Quite liked one. Alright, so basically we've come to the end of our broadcast for today. We've had 2 magnificent broadcasts all together.
What's the
Just
word
find
from
a
the
very
front line?
nice view.
Crucible is chanting your name. Crucible
Very
gets
good
harsher
view.
every day. It has to. I make sure of it.
Keeps bellowing. Don't want that. Zavala. Good others as well. The other view is better.
Did
From
I
the old
call
tower.
or send you to me, Warlock?
I have to find a good spot
One
somewhere.
victory.
I think this is going to be much nicer. But,
Okay then.
maybe we'll go to the other side and find a spot. We need to find our favorite spot for ending our broadcast every day. It's docking bay.
I keep checking the news feeds for cash.
It's time you face the fury of light unbridled.
Bounties, he has lots of different bounties. Yeah, okay, we'll have a look at that some other time, not
In our
today.
prime, the Iron Lords would have avenged the attack on the tower.
Right, so this is the best view, I think. Alright, my friends, we've come to the end of our broadcast. Hope you enjoyed what you've seen and what you heard. We had Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. 2 separate broadcasts today. Both were very, very enjoyable. In Destiny 1, we completed everything we wanted for our sleeper stimulant. And the weapon is fully enabled and active. I tried it in Sea Heroic Strikes and Weekly Story Playlist, and indeed it was very, very mighty, a lot more powerful than most of my weapons so far, and I found out that I can use the weapon very effectively against all yellow bar bosses but the main ones, and indeed it has to be saved for some precision hits because it recharges a bit slowly, but you know, once properly executed you are literally rocking with it. So today I'm going to write a posting for my blog, and it is going to describe what you need to do in order to get sleeper stimulant. It feels like a major achievement. feels like the first big step towards my raid readiness. And Matthias, our community member from the US, did say that there were several other weapons which we could also grind, and you know, we'll do that, but the postings will follow some of those achievements. The idea is that as I broadcast every day, some of the postings will focus on what was completed, and then all of our community members could come in and obviously talk about their own experiences of the same sort of activity. In the afternoon we had a well, fairly lengthy but now Destiny 2 broadcast as well, reacquainted with the world. In fact, I found everything very, very easy to use now. The reason for that is I spent a bit of time this week really reacquainting with inventory, menus and everything else, and we are going to be as particular, as precise and as minute as possible in order to complete everything on my Warlock, and then we'll basically migrate to Hunter, and after him to my Titan. We'll do everything as we indeed have done already on our Destiny 1 characters. So this is the next step. Hope you guys are going to be enjoying it. We have many, many more interesting adventures to come. I would like to ask everyone to contribute to my blog, because you can then voice your concerns and desires and wishes and your requests as far as certain streams are concerned. We will have a variety. We still have Apex as well, and the Division. Also Anthem and the Division 2 are lurking in the future. I'm waiting for Anthem to be fully resolved. Technically, still isn't, and I got some messages yesterday from BioWare saying that their biggest update is going to be launched this week. So hopefully, it will be resolving some of the issues. But we simply, you know, when we play Destiny, you could see it's like a plain, really. We have plain sailing broadcast, which is simply kind of race through it without any major technical issues. To be fair, Anthem is brand new, and Destiny 2 and Destiny 1 have been around for a little while. Actually Destiny 1 for quite a while, and that is the sole reason. But you know, a lot to look forward to. I also want to be doing some streams of Mass Effect in the near future. I absolutely love this game. We might do Andromeda first, because I've not played it at all, so it's going to be basically the first gameplay on Andromeda for me. Also, it has multiplayer, which is going to be very good. I know it had lots of negative feedback, but quite frankly I don't care. I love Mass Effect, and I want to find out what world we are to be facing there in that big Mass Effect universe in Andromeda. You know that they're working already on the new installment as well, so it's just going to be very, very interesting. And as I said, a lot more activity to be had. I'm still working out the system through which we are going to be communicating via my blog as well, so I want blog to be really alive and vibrant and in tune with all we do here live on my channel. So watch this space for many more interesting adventures in all of those games, and indeed for many more broadcasts to come. On that note, I wish you all a very, very good night, and thank you all for coming and for being with us today. Hopefully you enjoyed some of the firefights, hopefully you learned something. We had some community members coming in today as well with some advice. We had some new community members. In fact, we had, I think, about 5 new followers as well on Twitch. So that is wonderful. It is great to see that people are coming in slowly but surely. We do not want to have this sort of exponential increase of everyone from everywhere, but we want to have people who are interested in providing us with quality content, and most importantly, people who are polite, attentive, helpful, people who are interested in video gaming, and people who are regarding that activity as something which is valuable and treated as modern art. So, thank you for coming, and I wish you all a very, very good night.
Your light is what makes you a guardian. Come, test it.
light, Warlock? Keeping it fierce? The EDZ needs our help, Guardian. Get out there!
Test your light. To set limits on your light is to stifle your potential. The crucible is not enough. Embrace the iron banner.
Dying is an essential element of the crucible. Get back in there.
Felwinter would have embraced this battle with the Red Legion.
How's your light, Warlock? Keeping it fierce? Back from the EDZ. The shard sounds like a speaker's tape.